in 2025, while the world was paused to mourn the passing of Pope Francis, something far more volatile was unfolding quietly and almost fatally. In the heart of West Africa, in Burkina Faso, a silent storm gathered, a conspiracy, decades in the making, that came within inches of rewriting the nation's future. Burkina Faso, a country that has seen its fair share of betrayals, revolutions, and broken promises, found itself staring down the same barrel that took Thomas Sankara in 1987. That chilling sense of déjà vu wasn't just poetic nostalgia. It was dangerously close to becoming a reality. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the young revolutionary who rose to power on the promises of sovereignty, justice, and pan-African strength, had become the target of a meticulously crafted plot, not by chance or by rogue ambition, but because of what it represents, a threat to the global system that profits off African weakness. Traore has become a symbol of resistance in the world that prefers African leaders quiet, compliant, replaced, has been the loud exception. He has openly defied foreign military presence, he has criticized the colonial era, and he has called for African unity and real independence, not just the symbolic stamped into constitutions, but the kind that shakes the global economy. He's not asking for permission. He's not bowing to pressure. He is not quiet, but simply dangerous to those that benefit from the old rules, and so those rules fought back. What nearly happened in Burkina Faso in April wasn't just a coup attempt. It was a blueprint of their warfare, a silent operation discussed by confusion, wrapped in chaos, and executed by insiders, defectors, and distant hands that were pulling the strings from the safe havens. The planning, according to the intercepted intelligence, was brutal in its precision. A coordinated military assault on the presidency, backed by a large-scale attack designed to fracture defenses, drain resources, and paralyze air assets. The goal wasn't just to kill or capture Traore. The goal was to shatter the state within, rapidly, irreversibly, and in a way that would invite intentional insistence to fill the void. The Burkina intelligence services uncovered a chilling reality. The plot wasn't just internal, it was transnational. It involved a rogue gallery of soldiers, commanders, and defectors. Some are still embedded in the system and operating beyond its borders. At the center of the conspiracy was a one Lieutenant Barry Ablaman, a man who is once truly trusted in the military intelligence, but has since vanished away from that trust. What began as unusual absence quickly escalated to a full-blown desertion. But Abraman hadn't gone into hiding. He had gone into planning. Encrypted messages, clandestine meetings, tactical blueprints, they were all planned a disturbing picture. Abraman was assembling a network of operatives, including commanders like Wadrea Frederick at Guaranteed Operations, then Kabul Constantine, once a loyal and now a fugitive, operating within. Captain Ren David, all these guys were all involved in this kind of coup. Each of the men had a role to play, demiring Burkina Faso's defense structure. But behind them, behind the soldiers, lay a deeper, shallow, and foreign sponsors. Intelligence tracked operational hubs, funding streams, and houses, all these safe houses, to Ivory Coast and other nations in West Africa. It is there that the puppet masters now orchestrate confusion, misinformation, and strategic sabotage, working tirelessly to topple the government they cannot control. The plan was comprehensive. It involved psychological warfare that was attempted to overthrow Captain Ibrahim Traore. Others flipped. Religious leaders, traditional leaders were also approached with bribes and to influence loyalties. Even with volunteer defense personnel, many of whom were formerly farmers, students, and community members. Some were demoralized with lies, others were bought outright. The goal was simple: fracture the trust that held the army and the people together, and every piece of the plan was planned to destroy. The final stage of the plot was set in April in 2025, a coordinated assault on the presidency caught between these simultaneous attacks meant to overwhelm the air and ground defenses. The orchestrators hoped to spark a mass confusion, provoke indiscriminate arrests, and paint the government as oppressed and unhinged. However, they were not even successful due to the vigilant intelligence of Captain Ibrahim Traore. Not because they lacked precision, but because they underestimated the loyalty of the people of Burkina Faso. In the final days before the attacks, several soldiers stepped forward quietly at general personal risk. They approached the intelligence services and the presidency, and they spoke with names, locations, times, and equipment. It was all enough to break down the conspiracy. Others vanished into hiding. They started running away, and it has stepped back. What happened in Burkina Faso is a warning to the continent and to the world. This was an international power play. A bold, young African leader refused to play by the rules, and the rules moved to remove him. The people, the soldiers, the patriots held the line. Captain Ibrahim Traore remains in power, not because of luck, but because of loyalty. He stands now more than ever as a symbol of resistance to the neo-colonial control. Because when a man stands against the mercenary of exploitation and dares to unite the African people, speak of independence not as a flag but of an economic and political reality, he becomes more than a leader. He becomes a threat. He becomes a threat to those that have controlled Africa for the longest time. That's Captain Ibrahim Traore. If you've enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe, and follow for the next videos. See you.